Okay, the episode starts off with Justo having dinner with his future wife, Desi, and Mayor Gillis, who's her dad, who only agreed to this wedding for political reasons. Justo suggested a election wedding, and Mayor Gillis wasn't having it. Mayor Gillis like, I was thinking of a June wedding. So Justo like, why? He like, just in case we lose, I gotta reevaluate, make sure you're the man, the right man for my daughter. Desi says, oh, Daddy, can't you see that we're hopelessly in love? Well, Desi, not that much, because Justo is over there having BDMS sex with Orietta again. Afterwards, they're laying in bed smoking a cigarette, Orietta and Justo. Orietta is waving her foot in the air really fast, like the weird-ass bitch she is. And Justo is asking about her career and if she liked being a nurse. Orietta is like, yeah, well, I feel nursing is my calling. Yeah, I bet you do because you're a dark angel. That's why. Justo throws in that he's getting married, but he says it shouldn't affect us. Orietta was like, no, this. And it's good that Orietta knows exactly what this is. So, she know that it's nothing more than just fucking. Justo asks Orietta about her frequent hospital visits when she was a child. She told him that she used to always go to the hospital. She was a sickly kid. Orietta talks about how she felt like her mom was a saint for sticking by her when she was sick and how her mother never got frustrated. She was patient. She did what she could, and she even was close with the doctors to ensure that Orietta was getting the best care possible. So Josco asked, well, what was wrong with you? And Orietta couldn't really answer. She said, it was like a malaise, like a failure to thrive. And as Orietta is explaining this, I'm realizing that her mother had Munchausen syndrome. That's what they call it when it's a mental illness, when a caregiver or a mother, someone that's taking care of someone vulnerable, they keep the person sick. So the person always could require medical attention or some type of care. Remember, Orietta mentioned something about her mother's special juice, and it could have had medication in it to keep Orietta sick and keep her dependent on, her mother. Also, we can see that this is where Orietta gets her mental illness from, her mother. And the dark angel disorder, it seems, the same as, what her mother did to her. Orietta cuts the conversation short and she asks Justo, like, so what's up with you getting married? Justo explains to Orietta that it's just an arrangement. Actually, his father had arranged that before he passed away. So Orietta asks Justo, do you love her? And Justo just laughs and he goes to the bathroom. While Justo is in the bathroom, Orietta makes a phone call to check on the status of Dr. Harvard. She acts like she's Dr. Harvard's sister, and the operator tells her that he made a full recovery. Y'all, when Orietta finds this out, she gets the stuttering. She cannot believe it. She cannot believe that he made it. So she's asking what room he's in, and the operator seems reluctant to tell her. Orietta is like, I told you this, I'm his sister. I just want to know what room he's in. So at this time, Justo is coming out the bathroom and Orietta just says, never mind, I'll be there. And she hangs up the phone. Justo comes over to Orietta, who's sitting on the bed frustrated, and he tried to touch her face. And what are you doing? Orietta asks, irritated. So Justo like, I'm trying to tell you a secret. Orietta says, no, you don't have to do that. So Justo goes on to tell her, you remember when I told you as a kid I was traded to my family's enemy family. And they were Irish, and that Irish man did things to me that no child should experience. And he was with them for 3 years. Orietta loses it. She like, I don't want to hear this. So Justo said, yeah, it's hard to listen to. I just thought that I would share that with you since you shared your story about, your failure to thrive and everything. Justo gonna say, I love you, Minnesota, I think. First of all, Justo, who the fuck is Minnesota? Anyway, Orietta goes the fuck out. She, get out! Get the fuck out! You make me sick. Justo said, that's the love. I feel sick even saying that. So Orietta is trying to hurry up and put her on her clothes. She like, you had fun at your wedding. So Justo said, you women are so jealous. Orietta said, don't be here when I get back. Okay, next, Justo goes to the bar where the crew is hanging at. And they all huddled in like a circle or something. And Justo said, well, what is this? Gaetano sitting there with a bruised face. He got up out of that chair, grabbed Justo by the face, and slammed him on the table. Justo falls to the floor, and Gaetano picks him up and just tossing him around like a rag doll. Picked him up, put him on his feet, and banged him in the face, knocking him the fuck out. A few moments later, Justo wakes up and peels himself off the floor. So Gaetano goes over to Justo and he said, you murdered a child to have me killed. And he says, I'm proud of you. Justo looking like, what? Our enemy is clever. When he let me go, I had to ask myself, why? And as I sat and I wait for you, I realized he wants me to kill my brother and take over this family business. Gaetano also said he realized he's a bull and that Justo was a snake. So he vowed to always protect Justo, and all Justo have to do is use his snake ways and strategize. Gaetano took this vow on bended knee, and Justo agrees to it. He said he told Gaetano from here on out, no judgment will come towards him. Justo also told him that if Gaetano betrayed him or the family, that he would feed Justo bullets. Gaetano agrees. And the mob cheers as the brothers embrace. And you can see Abel looking like he's not quite buying what the brothers are doing. Maybe he's side-eyeing Justo and not so much Gaetano. But he definitely looking like, look at this bullshit. Okay, back over to Cannon. His crew come in and Lloyd crew come in and tells him that the plan didn't work, that the brothers are a team now. So Cannon's man, Opal, asks, so what you want us to do, boss? And Lloyd said, call Fargo. Next, Buell had popped up at the Smutney's home. The bro offers Blue a drink, and, the bro's getting a drink. Buell cuts to the chase. She's like, I can't help you. The bro like, excuse me? Buell said, we gonna get to drinking. We gonna get to talking. You gonna tell me how we grew up together and how we know the same people. Then you're gonna ask me to help. I'm telling you right now, I can't help you. Buell also said, people come to my husband for money and they all thinking that they have nothing to lose, but it's always lower that they can go. She tells the bro about the murder of Satchel as she know it. The bro gives her condolences. Then the bro says, look, me and my husband has made our mistakes, but my little girl just turned 17 and she has dreams that blows my mind. And I can't see her fall just because I'm too stubborn to ask for help. All I'm asking is just to allow us to make it right. Whatever it is, I can make it right. Buell doesn't give a direct answer of yes or no, but she does ask the bro if she could do Satchel funeral services. And the bro says it will be an honor. Okay, so upstairs, the writer is playing her French music, and that attracted Lemuel to come in. Y'all know Lemuel like his music. And they was just upstairs discussing music, and the bro comes in and let Lemuel know that his mother is there to see him. And she turns around to Atherida and she warns her to keep her distance. She said, that's not your friend, that's your captor. And you can't afford to make any mistakes. Okay, next, Orietta goes to the hospital I guess to try to finish the job off with Dr. Harvard, maybe slip some painful, harmful drugs into his IV or something. Well, come to find out, Dr. Harvard was transferred to another hospital for safety measures because not that long ago it was an attempt assassination on his life that killed that white lady that hate Jews. Orietta zooms back to her apartment and she get the pack and she got to go. She go in her room, her shrine room where she has the poisoning and all her souvenirs of her victims, and she runs across the Ethelreda notebook and she go get the letter and she compared the handwriting and she realized Ethelreda wrote this letter. Okay, next up is Marshall Duffy, and we see him walking towards Lloyd's home, and Opal is staying outside garden. So Opal like, no, you in the wrong neighborhood. And, Marshall Duffy keep walking. So Opal flashes his gun, and Opal was like, I got one of those, and I got a shiny badge. And he pulls out his badge and show that he's a marshal. Marshall then said, it's a federal offense to stop a marshal from doing his job. And at that point, Opal had to let Duffy through. Lloyd comes down to see what the marshal wants. And the marshal explains to him that he's trying to find these Swanee and Zelma, and he really needs to find them. That's his business there. So Lloyd tells him, well, I told them girls that no harm will come to them. Marshall then tells Lloyd what he thinks about the criminal mindset. Duffy explains, criminals reject their identity because their identity is based on getting away with crimes. And they replace their morality with street codes, which separates them from the civilian world. Lloyd said, I'm a husband, community leader, deacon at the church. And Duffy said, you can be all those things and claim to have the same morality as your wife or preacher, but the Lord knows it's a disguise. Ask me how I know. Lloyd say, how? Because what kind of family man would trade his son to his enemy for power and monetary gain? And Duffy is right about that. I agree with him. So he struck a nerve with Lloyd, and Lloyd like, it's time for you to leave. So Duffy said, well, if you could sacrifice your son, you can give up those two ladies to save your empire. So Lloyd gives in and tells Marshall once he leave out of state, it won't be safe if he come back. Okay, so down at the police station, Duffy is having a meeting with the rest of the officers to get ready for this bus to take Zelma and Swanee down. After the closing of the meeting, Otis asks, can he join? He really wants to be a cop again. And Duffy like, okay, but tell me who was on that phone first. And before you start talking, don't lie to me. So Otis said, okay, it was canon. He just want to make sure that we get the girls, whether they get locked up or dead. He just don't want it to fall back on him. So Duffy said, okay, so now what's this about you wanting to be a cop again? And to which he said, this isn't a choice. Twitchy touch, I've been hearing it all my life. I feel better when I'm in charge. I joined the police force for the power. I'm on the street, I'm a cop, I have power. Except being a cop is risky, and risky make me nervous. So I make deals in the street. Less risk comes with less power. Now that feeling comes back, and I feel like I'm drowned on dry land. Okay, over at the train station, we got Zelma and Swanee waiting on their train, eating some treats and talking. Duffy and the rest of the cops are getting into formation, and Swanee spots that ghost. Zelma gets this feeling, and she starts looking around, and she spots Duffy, who was looking down at them from the upper level. And once they made eye contact, Duffy rushes down towards them. Zelma and Swanee get them guns out. They kiss each other. And Zelma yells, come get it, you dirty coppers. And starts spraying with no regard of the innocent bystanders sitting around. I mean, they are putting holes in everything, baby, like everything. Now, Duffy is still sitting in the car, flicking at the car lock, finally gained the courage to get out. And down the station, he sees all these dead bodies everywhere of innocent bystanders, and there's no sign of the girls or Duffy. Next, we hear the ladies. We hear freeze, ladies. Otis runs towards them and find them. Duffy says, "Drop your guns, ladies. They ran out of bullets. We got them now. Here, cuff them." Otis grabs the handcuff from Duffy and then turns around and shoots Duffy in the chest, killing him. Then Duffy turns around and kills Swanee. Zelmir is screaming. She's losing it. And then she spots the ghost. Duffy points the gun at her, but she knocks him over, pushes him hard, and she runs down the steps, getting away. For some reason, I think that ghost protects Zelmir as well. You always see him before a death happened, and it seems like also that Zelmir is kind of aware of him. Well, she said she was, and I think he protects her for some reason. Well, for the reason that, she never gets harmed. It's no harm that ever comes to her when he's around. Also, I believe that Lloyd told him to finish off, all of them, Duffy, Zelmir, and Swanee, to finish them all. Okay, in the ending, the Fada brothers, Gaetano and Jasta, are outside laughing, drinking, having a good time, enjoying each other. Gaetano asks about Calamita, and Jasta upstates Gaetano and tells Gaetano that Calamita is looking for Satchel and Rabbi. So Gaetano so you told Lloyd that his son is dead. How do you know Rabbi won't go straight to Lloyd? So Jasta looking I don't know. He didn't even think about that. So then Mama Fada comes out and she's nagging her sons about putting a coat on. Talking about, well, a mother just worry, and that's what a mother do that loves her sons. She don't want them to catch a cold. They tell her, "Ma, we're grown, we okay, we're grown men now." And they get her to go back inside in a loving way. Now, beyond the trees, out come a clique of white men. And I think this is Kellerman. This is the Fargo code. This Kellerman in them. And they just come through the trees busting, killing men. They killed 4 of the Fada mob members that was standing outside of the yard. And they just laying them down, and they're coming towards Gaetano and Jasta. Gaetano pulls out 2 guns and get the busing, and he's not backing up. He's charging towards the gunfire, and he hits 2 men, I think. And Jasta was over there hiding. So when Gaetano, the rest of the men flee, and Gaetano, he calls out for Jasta. Jasto's scared ass was just fine. He came from behind the wall and was he's good. So they both are, embracing each other, happy that they're alive. And we just hear the scream. And I think it was the sister and the mother who was killed by the gunfire that was spraying everywhere. And it came through the kitchen window and killed the both of them. Now that the Fada family took a personal loss, it's going to definitely be war in these streets. Gaetano don't play about his motherfucking family and his money. So, that y'all done kill his mama, and this fool about to act nuts. And that's where the story ends, and I'll see you guys for the next one.